In this snippet, we'll take a look at copying, cutting, pasting, and renaming files, all within the terminal. To begin, I'll open up the terminal by clicking Application, System Tools, and then Terminal. And I need to navigate into the desktop. Currently, I'm in the home folder of my user, so I'll type in the CD command, or change directory command, and then the desktop, which will be the capital D. Hit Enter. And just run the ls command real quick to verify that I do have the files here that I'm working with, and they are sitting here on my desktop. Now the first command that I want to work with is the copying command, which will allow me to copy a file and then paste the file as well again. To start with, I'm going to go ahead and type in CP for copy, and then the preamble. And I hit enter, and you can see here that basically said there's a missing destination file. And so what it's basically telling me is I'm needing to specify what I want to rename this file as, or copy this file and paste it as. So I'm going to redo this command so we can see how to do it the proper way. CP preamble. So I'm copying the file preamble, and after the preamble I'm going to go ahead and hit the space bar. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it the name of the file I want to copy it as and paste it as that file. So for instance, I'm going to call this one preamble 2. So I've got copy here, copy the file called preamble, and then paste it as preamble 2. I'll hit enter, and you're going to see that preamble 2 is there. And now this is a copy of the original file called preamble. So that's how I can copy files. Now I can also cut and paste files as well. And what I want to do for this is use the move command, or MV command. And what this is going to allow me to do is it's going to actually take it from the location, and then it's going to allow me to paste it somewhere else on my computer, and then remove the original from its location. So I'm going to go ahead and work with preamble 2 now. Preamble 2 is the file I want to work with, and now I want to paste this file inside of the documents folder. So it's going to remove it from my desktop and paste it in the documents folder. So what I'm going to need to do now is specify the location I want to paste it in. I have an option of using a absolute path or a relative path to this documents folder. Since I'm in the desktop, I basically just need to tell it to go into the documents folder to paste it. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and just type in docs for this folder, / and then the name of the file I want to name it as. This is going to be called preamble 2. So here I've said to move the file called preamble 2, and it's going to go ahead and move this file, and it's going to paste it in the docs folder, and it's going to paste it as preamble 2. So we'll go ahead and hit enter, and you're going to see that the file was moved. And if I double click the docs folder, you're going to see the file is located in here. Now what would have happened if I would have misspelled this preamble 2 and called it something else? Well, here's what would have happened. It would have actually just named the file whatever I misspelled it as. And this is the renaming feature that we've got once we've cut it. So I'm going to go ahead and navigate first into this docs folder. Here we go. Run the ls command. You can see that preamble 2 is listed inside this docs folder. And what I want to do now is actually attempt to rename this file. And I want to call it preamble. So what I'm going to do is use the move command again, which is actually going to cut it from its location. So I'm going to go ahead and type in preamble 2. So move this file preamble 2, and I'm going to paste it here in the exact same location, but I'm going to paste it under a different name, preamble. So remove the 2, and what this is going to allow me to do is it's going to actually allow me to rename this file by cutting it from its original location, pasting it back to the original location but with a different name. I go ahead and hit enter, and now I'll run the ls command, and you can see that the file now no longer has the 2, and it's just called preamble. So this has allowed me to copy files with the copy command. I can cut files with the move command. I can also rename files with the move command. A couple things to look at while we're doing this. I want to repeat this step with cutting a file, or actually copying a file and pasting it into another folder. I want to show you also, rather than just using a relative path, how to use the absolute path or the location where this is at. So to begin with, I'm in the docs folder right now. I'm going to type in pwd, which is going to tell me the actual location of this docs folder. And if you look here, it's actually within the home folder, and then this lecture snippets folder, which is my username, the desktop folder, and then the docs folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually back out of here and go back to the desktop. Now while I'm here at the desktop, I'm going to go ahead and copy this folder, this file called preamble, and I'm going to go ahead and paste it as preamble2 again. Alright, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the preamble2 file back into the docs folder, this time with an absolute path rather than a relative path. And I'll show you here what I mean. I'm going to use the move command, the MV, to cut it and paste it here. And I'm going to go ahead and type in preamble2. And this time where I'm going to tell it to paste it is I'm going to start off with /, that's the beginning of my root directory of my file system, home, the lecture snippets, the desktop, and I'm going to go ahead and, before I finish this off, give myself a little bit more space to type so you can see this file. So here I am, desktop, and then the docs folder. And so what I've done now is I've typed in the absolute path to the location I want this to be pasted as. So / home, lecture snippets, desktop, and docs. Now I can choose to type in preamble2 here, which would actually give it the same name. If I leave it blank, it's going to automatically assume that I want to leave it the same file name. So I'll hit enter, and let's go ahead, and you can see that file was removed. If I double click inside the docs folder, you're going to see preamble2 is going to also be located in this file, or in this folder. So I've got preamble2 and preamble. And that is copying, cutting, pasting, and renaming files and folders while working within the terminal.